Welcome to Wellman, Iowa. I'm Dan Wilson alongside with Alec Giannakopoulos. Before we get started, we're going to thank all of our sponsors that have been along with us this season. Hills Bank and Trust Company, Yachty's Hardware, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company, Wellman Cooperative Telephone Association, First Class Apparel, Federation Bank, Radio Shack of Kelowna and Washington, Yachty's Ice Cream and Easy Go Golf Cart Sales and Service, Home Gas, Wellman Advanced, and Wellman Auto. And we got a great night for football here today. The press booth is packed. The stands are packed. It feels like a playoff atmosphere as the number 6 Mid-Prairie Golden Hawks go for 6-0 against Williamsburg, number 7, who's coming in 4-1. They've won 3 straight after putting a beat down on West Burlington 48-12 last week. Alec, what are you expecting to see here tonight?
Well, I see a mirror on defense. You talk about 6 and 7 going against each other. This is the 4th defense in 2A in Williamsburg. They allow 10 points per game. You go over to Mid-Prairie, they've allowed 11 points per game. So not a huge difference when it comes to stopping. But I also look for a attack on the ground in Mid-Prairie and an attack in the air with Williamsburg. Mid-Prairie, we've talked about that 3 threat they have at the halfback, Vargas, Faisalt, and Dua. And for Williamsburg, they have a great passer, a great quarterback in Vic Malley, 886 yards on the season, no interceptions, and 10 touchdowns. And, well, Dan, he's got a lot of threats to go to.
Yeah, and this Mid-Prairie team has come out with something to prove this year. Last year they had their first losing season since 2007 and 16 seniors on this roster. One of those losses last year came against Williamsburg. They lost 37-20, so you know they want some revenge here tonight. And it's a big game and really their first test of the season when you look at the schedule.
We've seen this Mid-Prairie team stop every kind of run offense they've came across. Usually on the ground, they can hold their own. But they're going against a team that has proven what they can do in the air. So it's going to be a huge threat to guys like Schwartz and Dua and those cornerbacks set in the Golden Hawks territory. See what they can do against a very high-powered offense in the air.
Yes, definitely. And, you know, this is a Mid-Prairie team that creates turnovers. They have 15 turnovers this season, 13 picks, 2 fumble recoveries. And the crowd is getting into it. Taryn Jacoby counting out the steps, getting ready to kick it off to number 7, Cameron Muse. And here we go. Muse comes up and catches it around the 15. He's got blockers ahead of him and looking for a hole, but he's met right away. Taken back behind the 20-yard line. Not a big return, and this Mid-Prairie crowd is getting into it.
Yeah, you could hear the roar of the crowd right when the connection was there. This is going to be a very loud, as you said, playoff-like atmosphere, and it's great to start out hot. What a huge tackle in wide open space.
And so you mentioned it, the big passing game for Williamsburg. Vic Malloy has been very good this year. 77 out of his 124 attempts have been completed for 886 yards, 10 touchdowns, no interceptions. But they also have the rushing attack, so a very well-balanced offense as they go out here. They have 2 to Malloy's right, 1 to his left, and a man in the backfield as he's in the shotgun. And he's going to start off with a quick pass on a short slant, incomplete to number 6. Noah Heichison. Yeah,
well, Heichison is his #1 option. He's had an amazing season, out in the field. 24 receptions, 326 yards total with 5 touchdowns. He is his best option, and it's going to be a long night for that secondary to try to keep him limited.
So Malloy staying in the shotgun. This time he's going to hand it off to the running back, number 22, Blake Hughes, but he's eaten up right away by that Mid-Prairie rush defense.
Yeah, and they're feeling it right now. They've been able to sniff out that quick slant and that draw. So a great start defensively for Mid-Prairie.
And you got to think the adrenaline is pumping on both sides. This is a huge game for both teams, a big rivalry. And now a 3rd and 10 with Malloy still in the shotgun. Looking to pass, and he's going to dump it to number 31. That's Derek Greiner, who's going to take it, keep those legs moving, but is a little short of the first down, maybe 3 or 4 yards short.
Yeah, and you know, you see right now with Williamsburg, they're trying for that short, slant-based, quick kind of offense, and it's going to be tough to limit that. Yeah, it's going to be a first down.
Yeah, excuse me, he got it. So 1st and 10 now. Good way to start the drive. Malloy staying in that shotgun and looking to pass right away again. And that's the number 3, Ryan Aviles. He's taken out of bounds, a nice pickup.
It comes down to those quick passes, those quick options, and after a very tough conversion, we'll see if there's a little bit of momentum, a little bit of function going on with this Williamsburg offense.
So a 2nd and 5 now. Malloy staying in that shotgun. Two to his right, one to his left, one man in the backfield. Fake the handoff and a pass to number 6, who gets hit right away and stays on his feet. He's got the first down and some more.
Yeah, great jump there by Kitchison. He blew by his man, and in those 2 seconds that we saw back in the pocket for Malloy, he saw his man right there and knew it would be an easy first down.
So a quick start to the Williamsburg offense. 2 first downs. And they're staying in that shotgun. They like to pass the football.
Yeah, Mid-Prairie has the pressure to make Malloy throw quickly, but they have to have the ability to stay to the receivers.
And here they're going to switch it up and hand it off. That's Alan Francis with nothing doing. And the ball comes out. But it looks like they're going to call him down.
If there's one thing that Mid-Prairie can pride themselves on, it's stopping the run. Only the 2nd attempt here from Williamsburg, and that met the same result of the first in a gain of few to no yards.
Definitely week after week we see teams against Mid-Prairie get stuffed on the run who don't really have a passing attack, but this is a new test. As there's a play action rolling, and he finds it, no, in and out of the hands of Ryan Aviles, bringing up a 3rd and 9.
Aviles just didn't have control on that one, but that play was drawn up and executed relatively well outside that one. Aviles had a lot of space around that 45 for that reception.
So now a big 3rd and 9 for Williamsburg, trying to get into Golden Hawk territory.
So we saw them convert another 3rd and long with that quick slant. I want to see if the Raiders will try and do that again.
So here we go. 3rd and 9, Malloy still in the shotgun, looking to his right, looking, feels the rush, gets it off. That's Ryan Aviles who's got it, and it's going to be close.
Yeah, that tackle was right at that first down line. We'll see, but the thing with Malloy is you can't let him get comfortable because this is such a talented core of receivers that they'll find a way to get open.
Yeah, Malloy's got 3 guys he likes to hit, Hitchison, Aviles, and Muse, all of them double digits in catches. And let's see what the refs say here. They're going to bring out the chains.
Vargas was close there, but I think he was able to keep him in, but we'll see a timeout to measure that.
And it is going to be very close. Short by inches. So that's going to bring up 4th and maybe 2 inches.
Yeah, that leads to a very interesting scenario for Williamsburg and head coach Kurt Ritchie. He could try to run it. That hasn't worked the first 2 times. Or he could stick to what he knows and try it through the air.
Crowd getting into it. Malloy doesn't like what he sees. Turned into the sidelines.
Yeah, it's getting loud right now in Wellman.
Looks like they're going to switch up the play a little bit. Malloy staying in the shotgun. And he's going to hand it off. And it looks like he dives forward for that first down to keep the chains moving.
You have to wonder if that audible call by Malloy was to get the handoff set, because it didn't look like they were in the formation to hand it off there. And I think Malloy agrees that's the right call.
So just barely do this Williamsburg football team keep the chains moving. That's their 3rd first down on the drive. Put the ball on the 41-yard line. Malloy in the shotgun, 2 to his right, 1 to his left, fakes the handoff and a quick pass, incomplete, and that's broken up by Blake Schwartz.
Yeah, Schwartz did exactly what they have to do about those quick hooks. Stay on your guy, and when the second that ball gets released, try to do all you can legally to get in the way of the ball there.
So some big plays coming up here as Williamsburg is trying to sniff that end zone. Inch by inch, they're getting closer. 9 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Malloy looking to his right and rolling, and he's going to get rid of it. And that's Aviles. Did he get a foot down? He did.
Yeah, it looked like it, and that pocket collapsed quick.
Way to hold on to the football for Aviles, and that's going to be the 4th first down. Approaching red zone territory.
A drive of attrition here for Williamsburg. Short and methodical plays that are just marching on this try line.
And now they're going to hand it off. That's Blake Hughes trying to find some room, and there's a flag on the play. This one might be coming back. And it is. That's a holding against Williamsburg. And that's a nice little stopper for these Golden Hawks.
Yeah, that's a big way and allowance for the Golden Hawks to catch their breaths a little bit. They looked like they were on the receiving end of a pretty rough drive there. So to get that bonus yards and some time to catch their breaths is a very valuable asset right now.
So now a long first down for Williamsburg, 1st and 22. Malloy looking to pass, and he's going to air this one out deep. Over the head of number 29, Ben Subert, bringing up a long 2nd down.
Yeah, Subert was pretty much taken care of there on the entire play. It didn't look like once that ball was in the air, he had anything to work with, and that's just some credit there to the great defense.
And this is a nice little cushion Mid-Prairie has to work with now. 2nd and 22. Williamsburg staying in the same shotgun or in the same formation it looks like they've been in all day. And that's a quick pass to Noah Heichison, who's taken down by a gang of Golden Hawks.
Yeah, good job sniffing out the screen and that quick pass there. And just like that, we've seen Williamsburg been able to convert on 2 3rd and 9s. Let's see how a 3rd and 14 or 15 looks. I think that was 20, wow.
That was Tolander with the tackle coming into today's game. He was leading all Golden Hawks in tackles with 35 and a half. And this Golden Hawk team has 4 players with 20-plus tackles. So very good defense, not just 1 star, but a team effort. And there's another handoff to Hughes. He gets some yards, but not enough. 4th down.
Interesting call with the draw there. I don't know if they knew that even if they could fool the defense that Hughes could pick up 20. Maybe they were trying to get it close to be able to convert on the 4th.
So now in Golden Hawk territory, it looks like they're going to go for it on a 4th and 17. Malloy looking over to the sideline for the call. Yeah, switch up the personnel a little bit.
It looked like that draw was implemented there to try and get the Raiders within fighting distance of that 4th down line.
So here we go, a big 4th and 17, ball on the 36-yard line. Malloy rolling out, and there's Dua. Just misses the sack. Malloy's going to take it by himself. And he gets a lot, but not enough. A big stop for the Golden Hawks.
Yeah, some great pressure. Unfortunately for Dua, he couldn't take it down the backfield, but that was a lot of real estate in front of Malloy. And although we've seen him run throughout the season, so far on his campaign, we see Malloy with 73 total yards and 2 touchdowns. That's a little too much for him to pick up.
So now let's see what this Golden Hawk offense could do. Last week's Freeman Foods Player of the Game, Ryan Cordum, entered the Golden Hawk record book last week. His 85-yard pass completion to Levi Dua was the 2nd longest in Mid-Prairie High School history, and his 279 passing yards was 6th most in the history of the Golden Hawks. Cordum under center, Schwartz in motion, and they're going to hand it off to Faisal, and nowhere to go for him, and he's met right away by a wall of white jerseys.
Yeah, so Cordum, it was a very interesting case in the previous week. He entered that game against Sigourney Kyoto only with around 180 yards, and he left the stadium with a total somewhere around 436. So he really upped his stats in just 1 campaign.
Yeah, really proving that this is not just a one-dimensional offense. So Cordum in the shotgun now, Faisal in the backfield, Dua to his left, Hawbaker, Schwartz to his right, and he's going deep to Dua. Dua's got it. Oh no, he drops it. I thought he had it, but it's through his hands.
Yeah, in and out of his hands, and you can see Dua right now absolutely regretting those last 30 seconds. He had his man open, and you have to wonder if with the wheels Dua has, he'd be gone. But that is the kind of Cordum we've seen. The guy who's not afraid to let it fly 30 or 40 yards if his man is open.
Yeah, and Dua being his favorite target, leading the team in receptions with 9, 192 yards and 3 touchdowns. And once he grabs that football, he's hard to take down. So back to the line are the Golden Hawks. 3rd and 10, Cordham staying in the shotgun. Trips to his right, Dua to his left. Faisalt in the backfield. Flags are thrown. This might be a free play. And it's over the head of Dua.
Yeah, looked like there was a little bit of too much movement going on the defense, and I think Cordham knew that on that throw to Dua, who was surrounded by white and red.
So it's an illegal shift against Mid-Prairie. So now 4th and 10. So Mid-Prairie will punt now, backed up against their own end zone.
And that's rough for Mid-Prairie because we will definitely see Williamsburg get the ball in some favorable field position.
And so now Dua back to punt. Muse and Francis back to receive for Williamsburg. And this is going to be shanked out of bounds. So some good field position to start for Williamsburg.
Yeah, they'll get the ball at midfield, and in what we've seen that previous drive, you have to wonder if this kind of methodical capabilities of that offense will kind of eventually wear down a very good defense from the Golden Hawks.
So a much shorter field to start with than Williamsburg started their first drive with, which was plagued by a big penalty, which pushed them back 10 yards. So Malloy staying in that shotgun. We haven't seen him go under center once today, and he's going to hand it off to Hughes. Excuse me, that was Alan Francis on the handoff, but nothing doing.
It looks like this defense is going to force Williamsburg to have to earn it in the air because right now this ground game is not working.
So now a 2nd and 2, ball on the 35-yard line and another handoff. This is Francis again looking for a hole, and he's met by a bunch of black jerseys, and that might push him back a yard or two.
Yeah, every handoff play has been met by a wall, black and gold. I do not think we will see Williamsburg keep it on the ground for this 3rd down and possibly for much of the rest of this game.
So now 3rd and 7. Williamsburg trying to avoid a 4 and out. They're going to fake the handoff. Malloy rolling to his left, looking, and he's going to get rid of this one. And it's picked off. No! Oh. Blake Schwartz had it right in his hands, and he dropped it.
Oh, it doesn't get any easier for Schwartz. Malloy had a read there, but he underthrew it. Schwartz right there, and his hands just couldn't complete it. But nonetheless, it is a 4th and 7. In some pretty favorable field position for Williamsburg.
And that's 2 times now. It looked like Mid-Prairie had a big play, but just couldn't hang on.
And that would have been the first interception for him if he came down with that.
So a 4th and 7 now. 5 minutes on the clock. We could hear the crowd chanting defense. Malloy gets it, and he's rolling to his right. A quick dump. Nothing doing. Turnover. And here come the Golden Hawks.
How about that? 2 really big 4th quarter stops with the ball in their field territory. This defense has come clutch early, and now it's up to the offense to take advantage of 2 very strong stances around their own 40 line.
You could really feel this crowd. This is the biggest game Mid-Prairie's had all year, and they know it. The Let's Go Hawks chant. And Cordham back to the line. Packed backfield, Vargas the main back. And they're going to pitch it to him. Vargas takes it, and he's taken down right away. Maybe a loss of 1.
Vargas comes in with very impressive numbers in the season, coming in with 603 yards on 73 carries. That was the first time he had the ball and didn't live up to his stats there.
We talk about it all the time, the nice change of pace going from Faisal to Vargas. Didn't work there, but when you could have the power back and the speed of Vargas, the power to Faisal, it's hard to defend. So Cordham back under center. Schwartz is only receiver to his left. And it's another handoff to Vargas, and he's taken down right away. It looks like so far, if either of these teams are going to move the ball, it's going to be through the air. Yeah,
you're right. Both teams have been doing a really good job filling up gaps and kind of keeping these halfback plays dead in the backfield. So we saw Cordham on the previous drive almost complete a very long touchdown pass. So we'll see if he is up to the challenge of what might be a back-and-forth game in the air.
So Vargas runs off the field. Faisalt in the backfield now. Dua and Schwartz to Cordham's left. Hawbaker to his right. And Schwartz is going to take, Cordham was going to take this one, try and make a move. Nothing really going, a pickup of 5 or 6, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
On that snap, it pretty much seemed that Cordham was convinced and committing to running the ball. I don't know if he didn't like what he saw in the box, expecting a blitz, or wanted to roll out and try to catch him off guard, but nonetheless, that's another disappointing 3 and out for the Golden Hawks.
So number 35, Alan Francis and Cameron Muse back to receive for Williamsburg. Levi Dua back to punt for the Golden Hawks.
Tough punt earlier. We'll see if they can get better field position here.
And this one looks a lot nicer than the one before. Muse is going to take this one at about the 20-yard line, getting a block from Alan Francis, and Williamsburg will take over around the 36.
So not a lot of time off for this defense. They did a great job on that previous stance, but you have to wonder how much they can actually handle this Williamsburg offense. They've done a great job so far, but we know the weapons that Williamsburg has.
So no team able to make much noise yet. This is already Williamsburg's 3rd possession of the game with 3:20 left to play in the first quarter. Malloy gets the snap, and he's going to hand it off. And that's Francis looking for the corner, and he's got it. Taken down by Hawbaker. That's a first down.
Yeah, and a well-drawn-up play there. That was the first ground play for Williamsburg that got more than 2 or 3 yards, and it came in a big way.
So ball at midfield now. Malloy looking to pass, and it's a quick one to Aviles. Taken out by Tolander, a pickup of about 7.
That's a quick cut there by Aviles. He was surrounded by the secondary, but found a way and found some daylight to get his team 7 or 8 yards.
Tolander being all over the field for this defense. That's already his 3rd tackle of the game, adding on to his 35 that he had coming in.
Yeah, he facilitates up middle and just finds a way to crash and help his other guys so they seem to miss a tackle.
So Aviles and Muse to the right, but it's handed off to Hughes, who gets the first down and some more, taking it to the 35-yard line. Williamsburg in this fast-paced offense. Malloy staying in the shotgun, and he's looking, and he's going to air this one out, and it's over the head of Noah Hitchison.
Yeah, on that play, you could saw Malloy feeling the pressure, coming in quick for Mid-Prairie was number 28, Nick Ragmile, and after that, you really just couldn't tell that he was more about self-preservation there than anything.
Blake Schwartz doing a nice job on that play as well. He's been sticking to his man all night, not leaving many open gaps for Malloy to fit the ball into. Malloy now handing it off. This is Hughes again, breaking some tackles, staying on his feet, and he's pushed forward. A first down, and it looked like he was eaten up in the backfield, maybe going to get a gain of 2 at the most, but he kept those legs moving and got a nice little push, and now into the red zone is Williamsburg.
Yeah, you know, on those last 2 drives, we pretty much saw him get eaten up on that line of scrimmage, but now he shook 3 tackles and made a lot of what looked bad play.
Another handoff to Hughes, and another nice pickup of about 5, bringing up a 2nd and 5.
Hughes on the carry. 5 on the game, brings up 2nd and 5 for Mid-Prairie 20.
So Malloy in the shotgun, 2 to his right, 1 to his left, fakes the handoff and rolls to his left, and he's going to take this one. He gets the corner right around the first down marker. It looks like he's going to be short by inches.
And that's tough because it looked like towards the end zone he had an option over there in Hutchison, but decided to take that one and take the safe route and gain a few yards there.
Brings up 3rd and 1 on the 16.
So a 3rd and 1 now on the 16-yard line. Just under 2 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Still a 0-0 ball game, and that's a handoff. And that was Alan Francis taking it up and moving the chains.
Yeah, the ground game, something that was not available in those first 2 drives, is here in abundance, as both Francis and Hughes have found a way to get some key 1st and 2nd down yards to make that 3rd and 4th more than manageable.
So a 1st and goal now on the 6-yard line. Staying in that shotgun is Malloy, and another handoff. This is Hughes, almost taken down in the backfield by Dua, but stays on his feet. Pickup of about 2.
Yeah, that same play previously got Hughes 10 yards, and if Dua was able to get a step quicker there, he would have had him down for a loss.
It was actually a pickup of 5, bringing it to the 1-yard line, did Hughes. And now Malloy's going to give it to him again. But he's taken down by Vargas with the help of some more Golden Hawks, bringing up a 3rd and goal.
Staunch defense there. Very similar play, having Hughes always try to go wide or left. Same with Francis. That's how they like to run, to try to get to the sidelines. But great job by the defense to cut off that route.
And a goal line stop here would be a big momentum shifter in this ball game. Malloy trying to get him off with the hard count there. And let's see what Williamsburg wants to do here. They're going to give it to Hughes again. And he punches it in for 6. Touchdown Williamsburg.
Yeah, Hughes deserving there of the touchdown. He's able to power through and get his team on the board for 6. For Hughes, that'll be his 3rd touchdown on the season, as what looked like kind of a dead run game those first 2 drives is alive and well on this one.
So Williamsburg able to strike first, taking the 6-0 lead in what has been a very evenly played first quarter. Now Declan Brogue back to kick the extra point. The kick is up. No. No good. So they do not get to 7. 6 is all. And Mid-Prairie will take on over after this. We're going to take a quick break. Welcome back. As Williamsburg just punched in the first points of the game, 6-0 with only 36 seconds to play here in the first quarter, as Ricky Vargas and Nolan Faisal will go back to receive for the first time tonight.
After 2 disappointing first 2 drives, I think Kavanaugh and Mid-Prairie faithful need to see something here.
Brogue boots it down to the 5-yard line. Vargas receives it. And now looking for some blockers, and he gets Faisal to give him some room, but he's taken down around the 20.
And we've seen Vargas get the ball a couple times in that second drive, but nothing doing so far for him today, and he's a guy in which the Golden Hawks need to step up and need to take initiative and try to get something on the ground.
Right, once that running game gets going, it opens up everything else that we've seen in the first 5 games of the season. Nothing really going in Mid-Prairie's way on the offensive side of the ball so far, though, today. They had that one big play that wasn't executed all the way, as Dua couldn't hold on to the ball. So Cordham in the shotgun, and he drops the snap, and he's going to fall on it. That's going to be a loss of 4 or 5.
And the woes continue for this offense. They just seem disjointed right now, and I think a perfect example of that was just the drop snap there.
And now we have a Raider player down. That is number 52, Bradley Doyle. And while he's down, we're going to take a quick timeout. Welcome back the injured player. Bradley Doyle able to walk off on his own. And this will bring up a 2nd and 14 for the Golden Hawks. Ball on the 18-yard line with 19 left to play in this first quarter. It's Cordham in the shotgun with 3 to his left. Faisal in the backfield, Schwartz to his right. And he's going to roll left. Look to pass, and he misses Schwartz. Pass a little low, bringing up a 3rd down.
And yeah, a tight pass there. You saw Hutchinson right on him trying to thread the needle in just a very tough spot to do when you're rolling out to your left.
So Mid-Prairie really wanted to move the football here on what might be their last play of the first quarter. Paul Hawbaker coming into the game.
Yeah, and here Kavanaugh and the Golden Hawks may just want to get something in yards so they don't have to punt and have the reception around the 50.
And Cordham bobbles this snap again, looking to get rid of it, and he does. Able to get it away just to save some yards. Going to bring up a 4th and 14, and they're going to have to punt it away again.
And yeah, Cordham does not look comfortable right now in the pocket. There is a lot of Raider pressure right now, and at that time, whenever he wants to throw, it's usually off his back foot or while rolling out.
So now Francis and Muse back to receive this punt.
Mason Francis back deep for the Raiders. Dua back to punt for the Golden Hawks.
Dua had a very nice punt the last time out after a not so good one on his first try. Let's see how this one is. A nice high kick down to the 40-yard line taken by Muse. Splits a couple tacklers, staying on his feet. He's going to cross the 50 and taken down around the 35-yard line on a nice return by Muse.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the tackle at that 39, he may have been gone. He was trying to get to the sideline, and Muse has some really good breakaway speed, but fortunately for the Golden Hawks, they were able to contain.
So Williamsburg will head into the second quarter with a 6-0 lead, and that's going to do it here in the first.
And the start of the second quarter is brought to you by Hills Bank and Trust Company and Yachty's Hardware. We want to thank them for all their support. So looking good right now for Williamsburg. They get the ball on and around the 36. And a quick handoff. That one's going to go over to Alan Francis. He'll pick up a first down and then some, as what's been going on the ground for them in the last couple minutes have been very successful.
Yeah, started off with not much room to move, and then last drive they started to figure it out, get some holes, and this offense is starting to take shape for Williamsburg.
11-yard gain there, and once again it goes to Francis. They'll fight and get wrapped up. A gain there, certainly. And it'll be a 5-yard pickup there.
Coming into the game, Hughes seems to be the main back for these Raiders, but Francis doing a lot of the work here lately.
So Francis will take the reception again. That'll be 3rd straight, and he'll fight and claw his way around the 10.
Nice second effort there by Francis.
Yeah, and this drive has pretty much been all Francis, and he's single-handedly picked up 2 first downs. And Francis and the Raiders find themselves again in the red zone. This time it only took 3 plays to get there.
Mid-Prairie really wanting to hold them here. They haven't been able to do much on offense. And when that's the case, you don't want to go down 2 scores.
So right now, 2 are to Malloy's left. And if ain't broke, don't fix it. Once again to Francis. He'll get taken down around the 5.
And coming into today's game, I really expected to see Malloy pass the ball more, but the running game starting to be the answer for Williamsburg.
Yeah, we saw a much more pass-centric approach in those first 2 drives for the Raiders, but what has seemed to work right now is the combined effort from Francis and Hughes. Similar formation, similar play. Ball goes to Francis. He'll fight his way near the goal line. Has not one attempt in the air on this drive, and it's a 3rd and 2.
And this is twice now that Mid-Prairie starting off not really where they want to be on defense. They had the 1 punt go out of bounds and then the big return, so they haven't been working with too much room for error.
Staying with the formation with 2 to Malloy's left. Francis 2 is left also. It's going to go to him. He's going to fight and find pay dirt, as we will find the 2nd touchdown for Williamsburg.
So just pounding it in, are they just running the football? And now a 12-0 game.
Remember, that was Hughes, my apologies, on the touchdown there. As looking to possibly get to 13 or 14 are the Raiders. And it looks like they're going to go for it, try to recover that missed PAT after the first touchdown. And the snap is off. We see the throw from Malloy is tipped and no good.
A nice rush by Faisal, able to force that pass from Malloy. Looked like he might be able to walk it in. Faisal comes up and he has to throw a prayer into the end zone.
And another PAT is unsuccessful, but nonetheless, the Raiders find the end zone again. We'll take a quick timeout. Score, Williamsburg 12, Mid-Prairie 0. Welcome back to Wellman. A 12-0 lead is the tally with 9:42 left in this first half. The second quarter brought to you in part by Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company and Wellman Cooperative Telephone Association. Out set back for the reception. Central is Vargas. And a low kick, and we'll see Vargas try to scoop it up. He crosses the 20, finds a lot of white and black, and is down around the 30.
And if you're Mid-Prairie, you just want to get some open field for Ricky Vargas, because once he's got some room to move, he could really make some big plays happen.
So, a series of unsuccessful drives has been the offensive story right now for the Golden Hawks. Couple 3-and-outs, some issues with the snap, and we'll see what Cordham can do under center here. And we'll hand that one off to Faisal. He won't get far, and the rows on the ground continue for the Golden Hawks.
Yeah, really nothing opening up, and you got to think these guys need to pass the football soon to start opening up some running lanes for their running backs.
And Dan, we know how important this running game is to the Golden Hawks. They base everything on it.
Definitely, that's been the name of the game all season, last week being the only exception.
So 2 out for Cordham. And he'll fake to Vargas. A deep throw
And
will
the pass
be
is tipped.
Yeah. And again, it's a 3rd and long for Mid-Prairie. Have to wonder what he was thinking there.
So really have not seen the chains move yet for the Golden Hawks. just punt after punt. They need to get something going soon.
As we see Jacoby get in. So another 3rd and long as Gorham's going to take it under shotgun. 2 to the left, 2 to the right rather, 1 to the left. Behind him is Faisal. And he'll fake it. It's going to be a flea flicker. Hawbaker has the ball. Tries to find the sideline. And nothing doing there either. So the trick play comes unsuccessful as the pitch went from Cordham to Faisal to Hawbaker, and he couldn't get much. So another 3 and out for Mid-Prairie as their offensive woes continue.
Yeah, the trick play didn't trick anybody, and we've been calling Levi Dua's name a lot, but not for the right reasons. He's been back there to punt too much tonight.
And we'll see Dua again. His first punt, a little duff, but he's been pretty solid since then. Trying to make it as hard as he can for the Raiders to not give him that great position. Punt is off and is low. And that one does not go far. They'll get the ball on Mid-Prairie territory.
So we've seen 2 good punts and 2 not so good punts and some good field position to start for the Raiders once again. And tight situation for this defense.
And Dan, we've seen just the ability in these last few drives that the Raiders have been able to do on the ground. What can the Golden Hawks do to limit the ground game, something they usually are very good at?
You know, early on it looked like they had them figured out. Weren't giving up too much, but Williamsburg is just having the extra push, and wow!
And the deep pass is good to Heitzen, and he will get there to the touchdown. It's 1 play and 1 touchdown for Williamsburg, and that'll be their 3rd score.
A very even first quarter. Williamsburg scoring right at the end of that one, maybe 13 seconds left on the board, and now a big start to the 2nd quarter as they've already put 2 scores up there.
So the run game in the back burner there, just a touchdown pass to Heitzen, and with that TD, he now reaches number, it's going to be number 6 for him on the season.
And now what was once a very loud crowd starting to quiet down a bit here.
2 unsuccessful PATs for the Raiders. That one is no problem, though, and we reach a 19-0 score.
But we got a flag here now. And it's going to be roughing the kicker.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker.
So that PAT stands, and the positioning gets harder for Mid-Prairie as they're not going to do themselves any favors with that penalty. 19-0 is your score after a quick surge from the Raiders. We'll be right back here on Women Access TV. And with the roughing the passer, punter penalty, we're going to see that ball kicked off on Mid-Prairie 45. As the black and gold aren't doing themselves any favors right now. I want to thank Hills Bank and Trust Company and Yanni's Hardware for their support as we get this possession underway. And a line drive of a kick that was just going to sail over Vargas's head for a touchback.
So let's see what they do here. The run hasn't been working. We've seen a couple pass plays that looked like stuff was opening up. Either Cordham couldn't hit him or the receiver just couldn't hang on to the football. Really nothing going right for the offense. And if they want to make some noise in this game, this is the drive to start something.
Yeah, and you also mentioned that those 3rd and outs do not help the defense in any way because they're going to have to start defending with the ball on their own 40 or 50.
Definitely, and you want to get your defense a breather if you can.
So man in motion for Cordham. That'll be Jacoby. And he'll snap and give it to Vargas. He'll find some pay dirt and he'll pick up a couple yards there. Successful run, maybe the first for him today.
And that looked like the first big hole that he was able to find today. If you could get him going, that's a good sign. That'll open up the passing, that'll open up the run, that'll open up everything.
That was a gain of 8 on the first down, so the very first second and manageable for the Golden Hawks. And Cordham's going to give it back to Vargas. He's going to try to find the sideline, and right before he does, he is met by the Williamsburg defense, and on the tackle there, number 33, Miguel Sanchez.
But the chains are moving, and that's a good sign for the Golden Hawks, as they haven't seen that happen today.
Yep, the first down for the Golden Hawks as they look to respond to an unanswered 19 points in what's been pretty much the later half of the first quarter and the beginning of the second.
And if you could put some points up there right now, you got the ball at half, so you're still in this ball game.
As Vargas doesn't get far on the pitch. He was able to get them the first down, but not much there.
They've been going run after run. Cordham coming off of one of his best passing games. You wonder if they're going to start passing the ball more, too.
Yeah, you have to wonder if the game up the middle isn't working, if we're going to see some shades of the previous week when it came down to Cordham, and he had that amazing game against Sigourney Kyoto. Drops back and gives off to Vargas again. He finds some open space. He'll take a cut and will be taken down around the 42-43.
And some nice blocks there. The Mid-Prairie offensive line just manhandled that Raider defensive line, opening up some big holes for Vargas.
Yeah, there was a big gap up there, which he exploited well, and he'll get his team the first down. So after getting the first down, they get a consecutive. And it's some life right now for that Mid-Prairie offense.
And with those 2 first downs, you could feel the crowd starting to get back into it. They still have some hope that these Golden Hawks could come back and make this a ball game.
Schwartz in motion, out back again is Vargas, and he's going to keep it going on the ground. He finds some more room, and he'll shake a man off, and he'll be taken down with the first down, and then some more. A great shake there, and right now it's come down to Vargas to get his offense kick-started.
Yeah, Ricky Vargas is tired of seeing Levi Dua go out there to punt. He wants this ball in the end zone. He wants to make this a ball game. He's starting to make things happen.
And Dan, how important is Vargas to this rushing game?
He opens up everything. Ricky Vargas opens up the pass game. He opens up the rush game for Faisalt. You know, that's a two-headed monster, and if one guy could get going, the other guy's going to get going. It's contagious.
The first time, ball in opposing territory for the Golden Hawks. And he'll go back to Vargas, and he'll pick up a chunk of yards on that first down.
Nice little pickup on a first down.
And as Vargas has been taking the brunt of the load here in the second quarter.
And what that does is the Raiders are going to have to start pinching towards the middle, which is going to open up stuff on the outside, open up the pass game as they realize they have to worry about Ricky Vargas coming out of the backfield.
So after the gain of 3, we have a 2nd and 7 on the 42. As the Golden Hawks look to get something going on offense. The I formation here. The fake to Vargas rolling out his Cordham. And he looks for the deep throw. It is incomplete.
Nice job by Hawbaker there. Knew he didn't have a chance to catch it, so did all he could to just break it up and make sure that they go back to the huddle with the football.
Yeah, Hawbaker with some preservation there, doing a good job, as you mentioned, keeping the possession arrow in favor of the Golden Hawks, and he'll come off for a breather.
3rd and 7. Williamsburg's 42-yard line.
So 3rd and 7 after the failed play-action pass to Hawbaker. Single back. Out is Cordham. Looks for his man and scrambles. He is surrounded and is going to let that one go. A dangerous pass nonetheless, as you saw 3 hungry Raiders chasing that one, but they couldn't get to it, and that will go to a 4th down.
Yeah, he's lucky that ball didn't hang up just a little bit longer. He wanted to get that one out of bounds. Wasn't able to do so. He's lucky that one fell where it did.
As As Carson Duell will sit out for this 4th down. An interesting scenario here. If you're Kavanaugh, do you go for it here and try to keep momentum going or try to pin the offense down within the red zone?
I think at this point you have to go for it. Have faith in your defense that's been so good all year, creating turnovers, making stops. They've had some trouble today, but you just got to have faith in your guys out there.
And they'll do just that. 4 wide, 1 to his right, and trips to his left. Cordum rolls out to his left, looks for a man, a high pass. That one intended for number 5 there, Jacoby. And he couldn't come down with it. So a turnover on downs with the ball on the 42.
Yeah, you would have liked to get more out of that drive, but at least you moved the chains a couple of times, started to move the football, get some confidence back in the offense.
Yeah, I agree. Compared to some of the opportunities that the Raiders offense has had, they've started the ball on the opposing 42 before. So as things have been going, this is not the worst field position you could have. Mid-Prairie takes a quick timeout, and so will we. 19-0 is your total with 4:53 left here on Woman Access TV. Class 2A action brought to you by Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company and the Wellman Cooperative Telephone Association. So the Raiders look to pile it on here as we will see a rollout and completion just short of a 1st down.
Hallbaker and Tolander on the stop, able to keep them from moving the chains, but still a very nice pickup for the Raiders there on 1st down.
Hallbaker with a tackle there, as you mentioned.
8 of 8 yards brings up 2nd and 2 on the 50-yard line.
So 2nd and manageable on the midfield.
And this is a huge drive right here for both teams. The Raiders feeling like they could almost put this game out of reach going into half up 4 scores. Mid-Prairie wanting the big stop, knowing they get the ball back in the 3rd quarter.
So a quick play fake. Doesn't go much as it's a tackle there at the 50.
The ideal way things play out here in the rest of the 2nd quarter for Mid-Prairie would be to get a stop, get a score, and then head into halftime knowing you get the ball back and you could score on that 1st drive, making it just a 1-possession game, but to go in down 4 scores would be huge.
Yeah, a big 3rd down here is going to keep it on the ground, and that'll be a 1st down and then some on the carry there, Hughes.
It was met by Levi Dua, but not after enough damage was done on the run to move the chains.
So a big 1st down leads to a 1st around the 45.
And Dua's helmet popped off on that play, so he's going to head to the sideline, sit this one out.
Williamsburg at the Mid-Prairie 45.
So Malloy with the shotgun. He will fake it and roll to his left. The throw is complete to number 29, Ben Subert, and he will fight his way for some more yards.
And Mid-Prairie trying to stand him up. Hawbaker trying to go for that strip, trying to make something happen. Not able to get the ball out, but the right idea there.
So once again, the Raiders are threatening, and you mentioned you hate to go down 4 scores going into the half. That one's going to be a quick handoff and nothing doing there for Francis.
And we've seen Mid-Prairie all season long be able to create turnovers. If there was ever a time to get one, it would be right now.
And you mentioned on the season so far for Mid-Prairie, 9 interceptions alone, as again Francis met along the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 7. And you have to wonder what the strategy is right now for Williamsburg, if they'll keep it on the ground or not. And Roy will roll out, and that'll be an interception. And
that's Cordum.
On the pick, Cordum. And we'll see what he can do, getting the ball back for himself.
He's got
bobbing
blocks.
and weaving. He tries to find the left and will be taken down around the 20.
So Cordum helping himself out a bit there. We were talking about needed a turnover right there, and they get one. That's huge.
And how about that, helping out his own cause. And he gets his first pick of the season, and he'll stay out and try to conduct an offense in 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
And now that's the 16th turnover generated by this Mid-Prairie defense.
And the fans are now engaged again. Put him out back. Behind him is Vargas. He'll roll out, and he will look and connect with Dua. So a quick completion there. First in a good amount of time for Cordum.
And that's a big momentum shifter, that pick. You could feel on this side of on the field, Mid-Prairie starting to feel a little buzz. They're starting to feel it, get back in that mojo. Their last drive out wasn't too bad, able to move the ball. Let's see what they can do now on this drive.
So that one off Cordum's helmet, he'll have to recover and just go down. No other option for him there. It's a bad snap, maybe
and it looks like a late
the
hit.
passer or a late hit, as it looks like continue to be in the favor of Mid-Prairie. We'll see the ruling though, but it seemed pretty cut and dry. Yep.
And that's not what you want if you're the Raiders. You push them back a little bit. Mid-Prairie starting to move the football. You're able to push them back, and then you got a penalty like that, which is going to move the chains for them. A 15-yard penalty, a huge penalty with a 1 minute and 38 seconds. Mid-Prairie starting to move those chains.
Yeah, you mentioned that when you turn what is a bad snap into a gain of 15 yards, that's the opposite of what you intended there. The ball on the 40, as you mentioned, 138. Plenty of time for the arm we've seen of Cordum. If he can get a guy open, it'll be a huge gain of yards. And you go to shotgun, and his man's out. And the crowd here in Wellman getting louder and louder as the plays continue. But before, I have to wait for the officials to clear out here. So with that foul, it's 2nd and 4 on the 40. Put him out back. Feels some pressure in the pocket. He'll let that one go, and that'll be taken down by Vargas, but rather that'll be taken down by Jacoby, excuse me.
It's going to be a hold on Mid-Prairie, not what you want there.
So reversing that late hit, as the hold will send them back with 1:27 left.
And one of the things we talk about week after week with this football team is penalties. Tonight they've been pretty good. That one, just the wrong time for that.
You mentioned this is a team that, in their previous effort, racked up 8 against Sigourney Keota. So a very better effort when it comes to penalties. And that one, however, as you mentioned, came at the wrong place and wrong time. So a tall order for Cordum and the Golden Hawks here. And he'll drop back. This one intended for Dua, and he is surrounded by Raiders. A tough pass for him to complete there.
Yeah, that was a risky decision for Cordum, throwing in the triple coverage, and really no chance for Dua to catch that ball.
So 3rd and 22 for Dua and the Golden Hawks. You have to be careful here with where the ball is, as if you go for a pass play here and it's not successful, you have to punt it. You give what's been a very proven offense in the Raiders some time to get back on the scoreboard. But nonetheless, 4 wide for Cordum. No snap, no cover. And he'll scramble, he'll take it himself and go out of bounds at around the 30. So nothing doing there. Was able to get some yards for the punt, so they wouldn't be punting out of their end zone.
So Raiders tried to help them out a little bit with the late hit, but Mid-Prairie then backs themselves up, and Dua is going to have to come out to punt again. But on the positive side, at least he didn't give up that touchdown, which would have made it a 4-score game.
Also, at the same time, getting that yardage did help, as now set to receive. The Raiders are going to be on there or around their 35 as opposed to being around midfield. And a good punt there, as that'll just kind of be out of bounds at around the 40. So nothing the receptions could do there, as we're at 53 seconds. And a very capable offense has a good amount of time. What do you think Williamsburg is going to do in this last minute?
You know, they could really do whatever they want. It seems like so far they've been able to move the ball on the ground and through the air. If you're the Raiders, you feel like you could put this game out of reach with another score, so I see no reason to not pass the ball here.
So ball on the 40. You mentioned that they've got a lot of their bread and butter so far in this first half on the ground. And we will see if Malloy tries to get his air game going. Not on this play, as that rush play will not go far. Tackled around the 38. On the carry there, number 22, Hughes.
Hughes on the turn for Williamsburg. Tackled by Dua from Mid-Prairie.
And a quick timeout after the handoff. We'll keep it here, as we are at 48 seconds left. 19-point lead. How important for Mid-Prairie is it to keep it 19 as opposed to, say, 26, 25?
Very important. You go into the second half with a completely different mindset. If you're down 4 scores, going down 3, you know you're getting the ball back. You can make it 2, which teams come back from that all the time. And, you know, 4 is just looking up at the scoreboard, seeing 25-0 would not be fun.
Yeah, and you do mention that Mid-Prairie does receive the ball after the break. So they do have a chance to chip away whatever the lead is. They prefer to keep it at 19. Malloy out back, takes the snap, feels the pressure immediately.
And that's Tolander with the help of Dua.
Yeah, he'll get wrapped up in the backfield.
Tolander has just been all over the place tonight making tackles.
A huge sack for Mid-Prairie, as there is no timeout called yet. So they're going to have to eat the clock a bit. 3rd and 12 with about 20 seconds left in the half. Malloy takes a snap on the 3rd and long, and he's going to keep it on the ground here, picking up a lot of yards.
Ball comes out.
Fumble. And
it looks like Vargas might have gotten it.
It'll be back by Vargas, the fumble by Hughes, but you have to wonder how much time is left here. 3 seconds on the clock for Mid-Prairie after the fumble.
Time for a prayer.
Yeah, we'll see enough position for a long bomb, a prayer as you mentioned.
And that's 2 big turnovers in a row. And some confidence on both sides of the ball now. The offense starting to move the ball a little bit, and the defense starting to make some big plays now.
So, trips out to the right of Cordum. No one in the backfield. We'll see what happens. And he already feels the pressure. He'll recover, scramble out, and I think he'll take it himself, as the pressure's been on all day and did not allow him enough time to have an option deep. So that'll bring us to the half. 19-0 is your total in favor of Williamsburg. And we'll rejoin you after some quick homecoming processions and the half here at Wellman.
Welcome back as we get ready to start this second half. Brought to you by First Class Apparel. We're going to go over some stats from the first half. It's been pretty much all Williamsburg so far. Total offensive yards, 266 to 64 in favor of Williamsburg. Alec, for Mid-Prairie to get back into this 19-0 ball game, what do you think they have to do?
Well, we know Mid-Prairie is a team that focuses the initial bit of their offense on the ground. And we saw Vargas do very well come that last, or one of the last few drives, where he was picking up first downs seemingly on his own. They got all 4 of their first downs on that drive, so if they want to be successful, they have to go to Vargas. Not just Vargas, though. We need to see some protection for Kodum. He has been rolling out on every snap. He has a hard time getting set, getting comfortable, and when your quarterback throws off his back foot or throws while rolling out, it's going to be a very hard time for a consistent accuracy.
Yeah, it's been really hard for Kodum to get going so far. Only 1 completion off 10 passes, and then 1 completion was for 12 yards. And, you know, once you get that passing game open, it's going to make things easier on the ground as well.
Keep in mind, well, he had a initial pass to Dua in that first quarter that could have been a touchdown. It seemed like he had his man beaten enough, but that was just out of his hands. And you have to wonder, if he makes that completion, where his confidence is and where his ability to command is. Because right now, with a couple bobbled snaps and a couple drop passes, this offense just looks disjointed and having a bad level of communication.
And it wasn't until that second quarter that Mid-Prairie seemed overmatched. The first quarter, very even. Williamsburg not getting on the board until the very end of the first quarter with about 13 seconds left. And then 2 quick scores to start the second quarter, but ended the first half with 2 turnovers.
Yeah, you know, and it comes down to those 2 big turnovers doing a lot to keep the score where it is. If those turnovers weren't made, we still may be at a, who knows, 30-0 ball game. Those were 2 very big turnovers near their own end zone. So those came big to keeping the Golden Hawks within punching range. They are certainly not out of this. This is a very explosive offense, and those 2 turnovers came key to allow this team to still be within 3 scores.
Yeah, and they went into the half after recovering that big fumble. Could have been a lot uglier than it is right now, so they have to be feeling a little bit better about that, now getting the ball back and trying to get on the board for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, with them getting the ball now, it's huge. They have a chance to bring it in within 2 scores at the early set of this second half. So, of course, what has been a very demoralizing first half is not the end of the game. There's still plenty of time left on the clock. And if they can get a couple good first downs, a good drive going here, who knows what could happen.
So back to receive now for the Golden Hawks are Vargas and Faisalt. Kicking it away is number 11, Declan Brogue, and this ball is going to be caught by Faisalt. But he steps back into the end zone, and it's going to be a touchback.
So with this team, I definitely want to see an improved ground game and some big blocks up at that line of scrimmage to allow guys like Vargas to get open space. We saw in that first half, when Vargas had that key open, he had that key block, he was able to get a good gain of 8 or 6, 7 yards. So to see that again will be a great foundation for this offense to build off of.
So Kodum now in the shotgun, Faisalt in the backfield. Twins on both sides, and he's going to hand it off to Faisalt, who goes to the outside, makes a nice move and a nice pickup on first down.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Faisalt in that first half. He was kind of silent, and the running game was pretty much dominated by Vargas. So to see him get a really good touch in and get his guys a great gain on first down is a very important aspect to keeping that 1-2 punch viable.
So a nice gain of 8 there. They're going to want to set the tone early, have a little sense of urgency as Kodum's going to take this one right up the middle, and he's got a first down and more, taking it past the 40-yard line.
Yeah, big gain there and a nice choice. I mean, it's the first time Kodum has gone directly with a running play, and he's got himself a first down and then some. Mixing it up is very important, and I wouldn't be surprised if after a couple more plays we see Vargas out there to keep the rushers varied.
So Kodum wanted to hurry things up. He's back in the shotgun. Gets the snap, and he's going to pass it to Dua, who catches it and makes a move, keeping those legs moving. He's dragging 3 guys with him, brought down around the 54-yard line.
Yeah, nice quick turnaround on Dua's end, and he was able to earn the rest on the ground. A close play there, but nonetheless, yep, they're going to move the chains, and another first down, a new-look offense. and a very important time to do so.
And there is no such thing as the 54-yard line. My apologies, the 46. Cordum back in the shotgun. And he's going to hand this one off to Faisal. Faisal met right away, but he is able to get back to the line. And let's see where they mark this one.
Yeah, he had a good gain there, and you can tell that there's not a lot of time in the pocket, and he was able to get off the Faisal in time and have a small pickup there.
So Mid-Prairie going no huddle. Taryn Jacoby to Cordum's left. Vargas, Dua, and Schwartz to the right. Faisal behind him in the backfield. And Cordum's going to roll to his right, look to pass, and he's going to find Schwartz. Catches the pass for a first down, and he's going to keep those chains moving.
And already the same amount of first downs achieved in that whole first half have been achieved here. It's going to be their fourth. And just like that, we're seeing a great amount of facilitation from this offense.
Yeah, Williamsburg, 15 first downs to Mid-Prairie's 4 in the first half. Not pretty numbers, but trying to correct that early here in the second half as Faisal gets the carry, stays on his feet, and a nice pickup moving that ball past the 30.
And I like the choice of the no huddle. It kind of just throws a wrench in what may have been the plans for Williamsburg. They didn't expect this going in, and that shows.
Yeah, and even though it is the start of the second half, Mid-Prairie wants to score early. They want to get in the end zone fast. They want to leave themselves with some time to make some moves. Cordum staying in the shotgun now, trips to his left, Schwartz to his right, and he's going to look to Schwartz. And it's just overthrown. He had Schwartz. Schwartz beat his man, but overthrown by a yard.
And a bit physical there. I don't think enough for a flag to be thrown, even though you can certainly hear the Mid-Prairie faithful call for one.
So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 from the 30-yard line.
And I think it goes without saying, if this third down doesn't work, you have to go for on fourth. This momentum has been unseen in that first half, and you have to keep it going.
So Cordum staying in that shotgun. He's got Jacoby and Vargas to his left. Schwartz, the man in motion. Dua staying on the right. Cordum's going to hand it off to Faisal, and he's eaten up right away.
Yeah, that read option was sniffed out pretty quickly as when they have the time, that Williamsburg defense can find a way to pretty much gap up any route and get a tackle in the backfield.
So now it's going to bring up a 4th and 4. Cordum going over to talk about what they're going to do here, and he's going to take it back to the huddle.
4th and 4 on the Williamsburg 30-yard line.
And this is big here. You come out white hot with some great gains. You have to get this first down.
So Vargas, Dua, Jacoby to the left, Schwartz to the right, Faisal in the backfield, and Cordum's rolling to his left, looking, and he's going to hit Dua, who's taken down right away short of the first down marker.
I'm not sure about the choice there. Dua was open, but there wasn't a ton of pressure there on Cordum. I think he could have waited a little bit longer and see if anything was developing out deep field.
Yeah, on a 4th down like that, when you're needing some points, makes more sense, in my opinion, to go to a guy that's past or right at that marker. So that's going to bring up a 1st and 10 now for the Raiders. Ball on about the 27-yard line.
And what was a very confident defensive effort early on in that first quarter turned into a very hard time for the Golden Hawks, trying to contain what's been a very lights-out Williamsburg offense.
So now Malloy in the shotgun with Francis in the backfield, and he's going to fake the handoff to Francis and hit a man on a quick slant for a nice pickup and a nice pass play.
Yeah, that was a good fake. Because not only was he able to fake it to Francis, he took about maybe a second and got that slant off without question.
And that was Isaiah Powell on the reception. And another handoff, but it's dropped, and it looks like the Raiders recover it. Almost the 3rd turnover on the day for the Raiders.
Man, if that was in favor of Mid-Prairie, that'd be another clutch turnover. But nonetheless, forcing the fumble is also a good scenario because you have a 3rd down in a sizable amount. And this is a team that is in no position to go for on 4th. So to give it back to your hot-handed offense is a very important thing here.
So now 3rd and 4, Mid-Prairie looking for the big stop. Malloy staying in that shotgun, and he's going to hand it off again. And that's Francis, and that's close to the first down before he met a wall of Mid-Prairie defenders.
It's a fight there right at around the 40, and I think they're going to move the chains. Yeah, they are.
So another first down for Williamsburg, their 15th on the night.
First down, Williamsburg from their 40.
And Mid-Prairie looking for another big turnover as they hand it off again to Francis, who finds a big hole, staying on his feet, and that one is close to a first as well before he's met by Tolander and Hawbaker.
An offensive strategy, remnant of that first half. Francis is doing a great job on the night, and that continues with a very good gain on first down.
Malloy hands it off again to Francis, and this time he does have the first. Crosses the 50-yard line and into Golden Hawk territory.
This seems to be a war that right now is won on the trenches, as you see Dua hobbling a bit, favoring his left foot. Right now at this time, you see the pressure defensively for Williamsburg is able to keep Cordham out scrambling and out pressured. At the same time, you see the offensive line able to kind of give Francis and Hughes some daylight and allow them to do what they do best.
And Dua went over to the sidelines, get that leg stretched out. Looks like it was just a little tightness. And hopefully that's all it is, as you would hate to lose him, as there's a handoff to Hughes, who's dragged down, wrapped up at the ankles by Carson Dua.
We talk about the 1-2 punch seen in Faisalt and Vargas. Well, that same thing is seen in Hughes and Francis. They're two guys that offer semi-different abilities on the ground. I think we can agree that Hughes is maybe a little more of a speed back, where Francis a bit more of a power back, but also very versatile, rather. And that's been working so far for them.
And there's a pass to number 5, Gavin Ritchie. Excuse me, that was number 6, Noah Hitchison. Nice little pickup, and yeah, getting back to this run game for the Raiders. It does look like Francis more the power back, more of a goal line guy. He's got 9 touchdowns on the year. Blake Hughes more there, bring the ball up the field guys. He's leading in yards, 435 to Francis's 387. Malloy back in the shotgun, and he's going to do another quick pass right back to Hitchison, and this time he does have the first down.
And I think this is exactly where Williamsburg wants to be. They have the capability of giving it to one of their backs with confidence that they'll pick up 3, 4, 5 yards, but also have the ability at this time to get those short passes that weren't necessarily working in the first half.
Malloy, another pass. Right back to Hitchison, and this time he breaks some tackles and takes it down around the 15-yard line. And what a well-rounded offense we have seen. They've got about 6 guys that can make plays, and they've been doing it all night.
Yeah, big gain there by Hitchison. He was able to shake Vargas and blow that up for a huge gain. And just like that, they are again threatening in the red zone.
Yes, back in the red zone they are, trying to go up 4 scores. Mid-Prairie looking for a big stop. This one's handed off to Hughes. He's going to go back a little bit before he turns the corner. Met by about 4 Golden Hawks. Not much there.
Another tackle there for Hawbaker. He's been great all season, able to rotate on any kind of pitch or wide route to a halfback. He's been very quick and very good with this rush defense.
So now 2nd and 9, about 5 minutes left to play here in this third quarter. Malloy staying in that shotgun, Hughes the back. And he's going to give it to him, and he's met right away by number 57, Logan Bean.
Yeah, he was still standing after that initial tackle, but great job by Bean to hold on to him and wait for some support as the cavalry arrived and got that tackle in the backfield.
So now 3rd and 9, Mid-Prairie trying to hold them. This is a huge possession. They're still in this ball game, not wanting to go down 4.
So we're going at the 16. If you're Williamsburg, you would possibly still go for it. I mean, the ball is in pretty favorable condition if you fail to convert, so this 3rd down is not the end of the world if they can't get it.
And Malloy rolling to his right, looking, and he finds a man hit right away by Tolander, and it's incomplete.
So some good pressure there by the secondary, forcing it out, and I think we may see a field goal team in.
Brings up 4th down and 12.
Yeah, it looks like Malloy headed off the field, and they're going to try and kick it for 3.
Longest field goal completed by Williamsburg at 34, so.
And this is Miguel Sanchez back to kick this field goal. And this one's up. And it is very good.
Yeah, that one right through the uprights. That is not out of Sanchez's ballpark. I mentioned again, 34 is longest.
So now 22-0 Raiders, and we're going to take a quick break and be back after this. Welcome back. The score reads 22 for the Raiders and 0 for the Golden Hawks as Ricky Vargas and Nolan Fasolt are back to receive this kick after the Miguel Sanchez field goal.
So that last drive killed two birds with one stone. Not only could they get points on the bird, they ate a lot of clock off with a methodical run game. So we are already within 5 here in the third.
Brogue boots this one deep. Fasolt backing up, catches it around the 3-yard line and takes it out. Looking for some blocks, doesn't get much, and taken down around the 20-yard line.
And throughout this game, we've also seen some really good open tackles on both Fasolt and Vargas. Guys who are so explosive have been relatively contained tonight.
So last time out, Mid-Prairie able to take it down into deep Raider territory, weren't able to punch it in, still looking for their first points on the night. What do you think they're going to do on this drive, Alec?
Well, we saw them really favor that run game in that first drive, but I think we'll see a bit more of a hybrid approach. I think we'll see a couple good rushes, but mainly a focus on the short pass game for Cordum. He's not been that great in the air today.
So Cordum looking, rolling to his right, and he's going to find Schwartz, who's hit immediately, but a solid pickup on the first play of the drive.
Yeah, he rolled right, and Schwartz was covered, but was able to communicate with Cordum and get himself open.
And so with the field goal on the last drive, it's not too bad. It's still, if you're going for 2, it could still be a 3-possession game. So Cordum staying in the shotgun now, Hawbaker, Vargas, and Jacoby to his left. And he's going to hand it off to Fasolt. Fasolt makes a little move, and he's got the first down. A nice run by Nolan Fasolt.
And that's what I'm talking about, a hybrid attack here. Keeping it small ball, keeping some short passes, 5-6-yard gains, and then trusting your halfback and trusting your blockers to be able to get the other 2 or 3. And that can be reversed, of course.
We're going to take a moment to thank some of our sponsors, First Class Apparel, Federation Bank, and Radio Shack of Kelowna and Washington, as Cordum is in the shotgun. Twins on both sides, now Schwartz in motion. Cordum, he's going to dump this one to Fasolt, and nowhere to go as he's met immediately by Blake Hughes.
Yeah, he felt the heat quick and tried to get something working with Fasolt rolling out. Good decision by Fasolt to roll out, but at the same time, the pressure was coming everywhere, and it was including Fasolt's backyard.
So under 3 minutes left here now in the third quarter. 22-0 Raiders. Hawbaker coming into the huddle. And Mid-Prairie trying to make something happen.
Yeah, the offense has shown us they're able to move now, but they have to get something on the board.
Cordum staying in that shotgun, and he's going to roll to his left, looking to pass, and he's going to go deep to Hawbaker, and it looks like he brought that one in.
Oh, man.
And that is Paul Heartbreaker, as the ladies call him on that one.
What a pass and catch there. You saw Cordum, he was rolling out. He had to find his man there. Hawbaker, he realized the pass itself a little low, able to slide out and get the first down and some change. Huge conversion there.
So ball on the 47 now. Cordum to pass again, and this one's picked off. That's number 31, Derek Greiner. A big pick and a drive killer.
And talk about momentum changing as they just got a huge conversion, and it seemed to be all for naught, as that's going to be a tough turnover as they're getting the ball somewhere in midfield around the 49.
So now the chains move, but in the wrong way, and yep, the Raiders come out here on the 49-yard line, already up 22-0. 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and it's starting to get to crunch time for the Mid-Prairie.
Man, that's got to be deflating when you really look at it there. After getting a huge conversion, after kind of kickstarting your offense once more, you just reverse it and turn it over.
So Malloy's going to pass this one. He finds Cameron Muse on that one. A nice pickup of around 8.
Malloy's pass is complete to Mace. The tackle was made by number 44, Hallbaker. Brings up 2nd and 1 from Mid-Prairie's 40.
So now 2nd and 1 from the 40-yard line. Malloy's going to fake this handoff and take it himself, trying to go up the middle. Nowhere really to go, but he gets the first down, it looks like.
Yeah, I'll get the first. Is when you are comfortable enough to try a fake like that, it really does show that you're pretty confident in your offense to be able to switch off and see who can find a way to get their own right, their first down with the ball. And getting your quarterback that fake really does show the confidence in play call for the Raiders.
And at this point, with this lead, under 2 minutes left, really makes no sense for the Raiders to try and throw the ball downfield as they stick with the run. That's Blake Hughes on the carry there.
You're right. They have dominated the time of possession in this quarter, and they have really found a way to burn out the clock with a very effective run game.
8-4 brings up 2nd and 6 from the Mid-Prairie 33.
So 2nd and 6 now from the 33. 2 men to Malloy's right, and he's going to hand it off again. Hughes again up the middle. Gets a nice hole and a nice pickup.
Yeah, again, with the ability they have to get first down solely on the ground, you can expect this clock to amplify its speed as they have the ability to get first downs and have the clock roll at the same time. That's 2 birds, 1 stone.
So the clock continues to tick here in the third quarter, 38 seconds and counting. Malloy staying in that shotgun. I don't think we've seen him under center once tonight. Fakes the handoff, and he's going to roll to his right and throw it up, trying to hit Gavin Ritchie, but he can't find him.
Interesting call there. I don't know if he thought he had a genuine shot there. If he just wanted to get the first down, though, he could have ran that extra yard and go for the slide unless he thought it was a free play.
Yeah, now we have a flag on the field. Let's see what this is. Ref's talking it over with the Mid-Prairie defenders. We'll come out and make the announcement right here. And that's against Williamsburg. I'm not quite sure what it is.
It's not necessarily a free play there, and as a plus side, they do lose yards, but as a con.
And it was a legal man downfield was the call.
As I was saying, as a con, though, it does allow a very high-powered offense that's been rolling well another shot at first down.
So that backed them up 5, but they go to Francis, who makes a spin move, cuts the corner, and he's got daylight, and he's going to beat Vargas. Knocked out. Looked like he beat him and was going to walk into the end zone, but he's a little short.
Yeah, he was pushed just outside the pylon, but that does not mean that this team does not have the capabilities to complete Francis's job there. They've been killing it right now, and everything seems to be going in their favor.
So now a 1st and 10 on the 16-yard line. Malloy gets this one. He's going to fake the handoff again, then pump fake and throw this one up into the end zone. And he's got a man, and that man is Gavin Ritchie. And it's going to be 28-0 Raiders.
Yeah, Malloy got that one off just in time. You saw him. He was under pressure, but he was able to, at the last second, find his man deep in Ritchie and get the TD. But there is a flag. We'll see where that goes.
And it was a nice job of Malloy on that play, using that pump fake to buy himself a couple extra seconds to find that man in the end zone.
And it goes against Williamsburg.
So we raced that. We're still at 22-0 as a couple penalties here have pushed Williamsburg back, keeping them out of the end zone.
And again, yeah, legal man downfield.
So we hadn't seen it all night, and now we've seen it 2 times here in about a 10-second span. So we're going to have a 1st and 16 And that was number 35, Alan Francis, on the carry there. And that's going to wind down the clock here in the third quarter. So tonight it's been all Raiders, 22-0, and we're going to head into the break and come back with the fourth quarter of this ball game.
And the fourth quarter of Mid-Prairie action brought to you by First Class Apparel, Federation Bank, Radio Shack of Kelowna and Washington, and Yachty's Ice Cream and Easy Go Golf Cart Sales and Service. As we mentioned before, a pretty much dominated performance here by Williamsburg, as they have been cleaning up and found a way to milk most of that third quarter clock. So they'll start this one off on the 19. And they hand off to Francis. He'll try to find that sideline. And that sweep will be taken down around the 10.
And, you know, this Mid-Prairie defense, they haven't given up too many big plays. It's just they haven't been put in the best positions. You know, the Raiders have pretty much started with good field position every time they've come out there, and that's a tough task for a defense.
Well, we saw that huge interception that kind of put this Raiders team in some good position to kill Moorclock and find themselves on board. The offense has been fighting, but when it comes to getting points on the board and keeping drives alive, they failed. And the snap, Malloy will take it himself.
And that's Dua on the sack.
And he'll be taken down for the second sack of the night for Mid-Prairie. And they'll force a fourth down. So we'll see if we'll see the kicking unit come out again, or if Malloy will stay out and try to get something going here deep in Mid-Prairie territory.
And it looks like Malloy headed off the field, so we'll see Miguel Sanchez again on this kick.
So we saw him. He was good from an effort from a similarly length distance. I think his previous kick was somewhere around the 26, so an easier one. So it'll be around 30. And that one is up. And that one is right through the upright. So 2 field goals in the second half for the Raiders, and they push that score up.
It looks like a very deflated Mid-Prairie team out there right now, still searching for some points.
25-0 the total after the field goal. And we'll take a quick break as a field goal ups the score to 25-0 here on Roman Access TV. First Class Apparel and Federation Bank bring you this fourth quarter, as it's been all Williamsburg. Set to receive or face up, and Vargas. 2 very talented runners, both with their season figures over that 400 mark. Vargas around 600, but so far today, a quiet day for both of them. On the reception is Faisal. He tries to find the right side, but is taken down very quick. Left side, rather, as he's tackled behind the 15.
Nowhere to go there for Faisal. The Raiders broke through those blocks very fast, and by the time Faisal was at about the 10-yard line, he was facing 3 Raiders with nowhere to go.
So they'll get that ball on the 15. And we'll see what Kavanaugh and the Golden Hawks can do here, as we've seen what seemed to be the motif so far on this second half, as they've been able to get something going but not able to finish their job. 2 wide, Vargas in the backfield. In motion is Schwartz. And a flag blows that one dead as Schwartz gets the ball. And that's going to be a false start charge against the Golden Hawks. So not helping their case as they'll get the ball at the 10 on the first and 15.
Brings up first and 15 for the Golden Hawks on their own 10-yard line.
When you're down 25 points and your back is up against the end zone, it's not where you want to be.
At risk to be shut out for the first time are the Golden Hawks as Cordon will give that ball over to Vargas. He'll get some real estate
And the ball pops
lose
out.
the ball out, and that's going to be another turnover in favorable position. And it's pretty safe to say it's been all Williamsburg tonight.
And that looked like it might have been Noah Heichison on the tackle. Whoever it was got a hand right on the football, able to pop it right out, and it flew up in the air. Raiders football in Golden Hawk territory.
27-yard line.
And yeah, again, a huge turnover deflates what was again, promising look for this offense. So 10:21 left, Raiders in very favorable position with the ball at 27. As I believe we'll get a timeout in favor of the Raiders. So take a quick break here as the Raiders go talk things over. After the quick fumble, it's Raiders ball deep with 25-0 your score. Radio Shack of Kelowna and Washington and Yachty's Ice Cream and Easy Go Golf Cart Sales and Service bring you the second half of Mid-Prairie action. So first and 10, ball deep in Mid-Prairie territory, and a fake that certainly fooled Dua will result in a quick gain.
Yeah, it was a nice fake by Malloy. Looked like he kept it, but Heichison had it, went the other way, and a nice pickup.
And he saw the push by Dua onto Malloy, thinking he still had the ball, but a great fake there that got a 6-yard gain.
Faisal and Tolander again on the tackles. We've heard them all night making tackles.
Yeah, up in the middle, they've been pretty intimidating. High snap to Malloy, will hand it off to Hughes, and ooh, he'll get caught around the 14. His back bended in a certain way, but he seems to be all right.
Yeah, it looked like an awkward way to go down. Thankfully got up, looks fine, headed right back to the line as the Raiders stay with this fast-paced offense.
They keep the clock running and their chances of scoring to increase. A quick pass was dropped. That one dropped around the 13, and on the drop there is Hutchison.
Heichison been huge for the Raiders offense today. Been one of Malloy's favorite targets, just not able to hold on to it there.
So clock stops at 9:28. Two out for Malloy, and he'll hand it off to Hughes. He'll need a lot of black and gold, and not much will happen on second down.
A lot of black jerseys there. Tolander leading the group,
Hughes on the carry,
as well as Ricky Vargas and Paul Hawbaker.
Vargas and Tolander. Mid-Prairie on the tackle.
So some life here for the Mid-Prairie defense as it's 3rd and 10. Ball on the 14 with just under 9 to go.
And at this point in the ball game, Mid-Prairie just trying to stop the bleeding.
We'll see if they can do that. An important stop here for Mid-Prairie. You don't want to make this a 31-0 game against a rival. As rolling out is Malloy. He will juke man out of his shoes and be taken down after a quick gain. A nice juke there from Malloy.
Malloy on the carry, Faisal for Mid-Prairie on the tackle.
So that's a gain of 4. It looks like a huge shift here as
Malloy's going to head off the field, and Gonzalez going for his Sanchez going for his third field goal on the day.
Looking to pile it on are the Raiders. Sanchez so far, as you mentioned, 2 for 2. And with this kick, it is 2 for 3. That one no good. Wide right.
The field goal is no good. Williamsburg 25, Mid-Prairie 0.
So incomplete field goal here for the Raiders as so the Golden Hawks get the ball back at around the 14. How important, Dan, is it for the Golden Hawks to get on the board here?
You know, in terms of this ball game, scoring right now, probably not going to help them too much with 8 minutes left. They have to score 4 touchdowns. Probably not going to happen, but in terms of confidence and knowing that you could hang with another playoff team, it's huge. And that's another fumble by Cordum, having some trouble getting the snap tonight.
Yeah, snap issues have been abundant right now for Mid-Prairie. As another hard time bringing that snap in as Cordum. They'll retain, but they certainly lose a good amount of yards there. It's a loss of 4 on the loose snap, and that's certainly not the first one we've seen tonight. So we saw Cordum earlier. He was a member of the homecoming court during the halftime proceedings. Takes a snap, no one in the backfield. A deep pass, and Dua will not be able to come down with it, as he was well met by a good amount of defenders. Derek Reiner, a man who, well, he has an interception tonight. A good job keeping him limited.
That was a big interception he had earlier, just when it seemed Mid-Prairie was starting to feel the flow, move the football. Right after that big pass to Hawbaker, comes up with a big pick.
So on the 3rd and 14, Mid-Prairie's just looking right now for a first down. Face out in the backfield. 4 wide, trips to his left. Able to shake his Cordum, and he is finding a lot of action in the backfield. The deep throw is good to Dua, and he's got a lot of real estate. We'll see what he can do. The stiff arm will get him down at around the 44. But a big gain here for the Golden Hawks. Fires up the faithful.
That's huge. Get yourself out of your own territory. Move the football across midfield. You want to get some points. You want to feel a little bit better about how things went today.
Yeah, you saw in the backfield, Cordum doing a really good job, able to get himself some more time by avoiding all tackles at all costs, as that gain will get a couple yards for Mid-Prairie. Faisal got that one. Corner out back. Feels pressure, will take it himself, and the pitch is bobbled.
Very risky decision there.
Yeah, very. It's incomplete, but that was in and out of a couple Raiders' hands, as he may have been trying to do too much with too little.
Trying to do the Brett Favre shuffle there. Didn't work out, but he's lucky it didn't end up in the hands of a Raider defender.
This offense just looking to get something going. You don't want to get shut out by your rival here. With 6:31 left, another 3rd down situation for the Golden Hawks. He'll quickly roll out left. A flag's on the field, so the deep pass to Dua.
And it looks like he hung on to it.
Is complete, but we'll see if that comes back or not. A very impressive catch, but at the same time, you have to wonder if that's going to be a hold. And a quick conversation between all officials about what the actual penalty was. And it's going to be a hold, but that will not be against the Golden Hawks.
And that's a nice little bonus to a big play.
And with it being declined,
Cordum's pass to Dua is complete. The play results in a first down
Yeah, and a very impressive catch there on Dua's end as he was jumping up in a swarm of white. Found a way to bring that one down.
One player I'm surprised we haven't seen a lot of in this half since the first drive, Ricky Vargas. He was moving the football very well for this team, and it's been a lot of Nolan Faisal, not to put him down, but Ricky Vargas was moving the ball. And here is Faisal.
Yeah, you get Faisal again. He'll trip and get down around the 10, but that's still a gain of around 5. But you mentioned it as there's a certain time in that first quarter in which it was pretty much only Vargas moving the ball. He got 5, 6, 7 straight handoffs and was able to convert 4 first downs. But you mentioned it, he's been pretty much off the radar here. And a timeout called by Williamsburg. So we've seen some life in this Golden Hawks offense, rather. In the air, both great catches by Dua. One a huge gain around 30, and then another one that got around 20, but more impressively than the gain of yards was the ability to jump through the sea of white and bring that one down.
Yeah, there were maybe 10 hands on that football. His were just the strongest pair of hands, able to corral it from everybody else.
Yeah, you saw the ref have to use the jaws of life there to have to pry it from his hands as he was fighting for that one after the play was dead. There was a lot of action in that pile. But fortunately for the Golden Hawks, they are able to bring that one down and get themselves in a position where they can find the scoreboard and avoid the shutout.
Yep, 12 yards away. Only 5:50 left in this one, so running out of time to get on the board. Right now looks like their best opportunity to do so.
First Class Apparel and Federation Bank, we always remind you, bringing you the second half of Mid-Prairie action. As one back, and that's Faisal. He'll get the ball and not get a whole lot of real estate on second down. So they have the ball within the red zone, but it doesn't get easier there. Something that we have learned from this team is the closer they've gotten to the opposing end zone, the harder it's been for them to convert.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities, just haven't taken advantage of it. And as we've said, still looking for those first points on the night.
So dropping back and feeling the pressure. He's scrambling deep in the backfield, and that one going nowhere. And I think we'll see a grounding call there. Or maybe not. Maybe a roughing the passer.
And that might give him a new set of downs.
So the ball certainly wasn't catchable on that throw. But there may have been either a pass interference or roughing the passer, as you can see arguing and pleading his case. Number 63, Colton Lewis, but I don't think it's going to be met, as we'll get a 3rd and 5 there. Or we'll see. Can't say 3rd and 5 just yet. That was the previous conditions here. And the officials continue to talk things out. Both teams get set.
And the 3rd down yard marker was just switched to 1st down.
Yeah. So with the penalty, it's a Mid-Prairie 1st down, ball at the 5. Let's see what the Golden Hawks can do to get on the scoreboard. And the handoff from Cordum over to Faisal. Not too much going there, as very staunch effort in these last 5 yards, able to push him out of anything doing.
As Mid-Prairie continues to try and go up the middle, I'd like to see him try a play action on one of these next couple plays. Try and find the Raiders jumping a bit too early and get a guy left open in the end zone.
I also have to wonder where Vargas is he's a guy that once he can get the sideline and once he can get a pitch or a sweep, he can fight and find his way using his speed to get to the end. But nonetheless, single back in the form of Faisal. Man in motion and a pitch over to Faisal. He'll cut in, but need a lot of Raiders.
And another flag on that play.
That's right. This has been a very physical 4th quarter. Another flag finds the field, and we'll see what the ruling is there. Without the flag, it's going to be around a 3rd and 6. But we'll see what happens on the call.
Speaking of Vargas, here he comes in. Paul Hawbaker off to the sidelines.
Vargas in for Hawbaker, as you mentioned. Maybe the form of an illegal block there. That's what the conversation appeals to lead to. Illegal block, yeah, illegal block against Mid-Prairie there.
So they get a little help from the Raiders and then take themselves right back.
And you'll see what the totals are going to be after the measurement. And they'll go over to the 20-yard line. So that makes it a very long 2nd and 20.
Yeah, very long 2nd and 20, and not what you want when you're still searching for points late in the 4th quarter.
Corum snaps back, and
another
flag. Could you look at that? He'll take it himself. You have to wonder what the call is. The deep throw is complete, however, to Dua, and that is a touchdown, barring the penalty. You have to see what the flag was for, as what maybe a TD could come back.
And if it does stand, that would be Dua's 4th touchdown of the year, but nope, a false start on the offense.
False start there, a very demoralizing penalty coming at the wrong time, as you thought for a second Dua and the Golden Hawks found pay dirt, but unfortunately the false start's going to make it a 2nd and 25. So they found a way to do it on 2nd and 20. Let's see if they can do it on 2nd and 25. Clock stopped at 4:18 here, as it's going to look like 3 shots at the goal line. And surrounded by pressure.
And more flags.
Is
in the secondary.
Yeah, and another flag there deep in the near the end zone, as you mentioned, in the secondary. I wonder if that comes back, and I believe this has been 3 straight flags, if not 4. It's been a very physical 4th quarter.
This one's going to be holding on the Raiders.
So they lose 5, and they pick up a couple more. So
both teams just swapping penalties here.
Yeah, a very physical 4th quarter, and
you got to think there's some anger starting to build up on the Mid-Prairie side of the football. You know, a big rivalry, these two teams, so definitely some little extra pushing and shoving throughout the game.
I mean, never forget, this is a rivalry game, and there is some bad blood here. So 2nd and 22 with that call. And rolling out again is Cordum. He finds some space out in the backfield, a deep toss, and a tough catch.
And that looks like it's picked off.
May have been a pick if his feet were in, but no.
They're going to call him out.
On the attempt of Viles, as he looked to come down with that one, but with the contest being so close to the pylon, he was not able to keep a foot in.
This game's a bunch of baloney.
Looked like he almost got 1 foot down. The ref called him out of bounds. So Mid-Prairie, another shot to score here. 3rd and 22, 3:50 left.
You mentioned pretty much 2 more shots at that end zone. Mid-Prairie trying all they can just to get on the scoreboard.
And the way the Raiders have been controlling the football on offense, this might be the last possession for Mid-Prairie.
Trips to his white, and a pass intended for Dua will be, well, we're going to say it's incomplete.
And another flag on the play.
And another flag's on the field, as this has been a very messy possession, to say the least.
That looked like almost an impressive one-handed interception by Gage Muse. Instead it falls to the ground, and a
offensive pass interference
on Mid-Prairie.
So an offensive pass interference pushes the Golden Hawks deeper if accepted. We'll see. But nonetheless, it's been flag after flag in this possession, as it's been a very long road. And it looks like it's been declined. So we're going to keep the ball at the 22.
This has been a very long possession, and it seems like it's just the ref picking up the ball, moving it 5 yards forward, then picking it up and moving it 5 yards back.
Well, with the declined penalty, this may be check that. This may be Mid-Prairie's last shot at a touchdown. We'll see what happens. Some pressure is met. A deep pass is up, and it is no good.
Looking for that back shoulder. Schwartz had it there, but Raiders able to get a hand in there and break it up.
So Schwartz unable to come down with it. Some very good defensive pressure out deep in the end zone. So it's going to be a turnover on downs at the 22. And with 3:41, you mentioned it, that may be Mid-Prairie's last possession.
Yeah, the Raiders have just done a good job controlling the football. The run game has been on for them, so if they can just run this down, waste some clock, they're going to be improving to 5-1.
As always, we'd like to thank First Class Apparel and Federation Bank for their support, in addition to Radio Shack of Kelowna and Washington, and Yachty's Ice Cream and Easy Go Cart Sales and Service. Quick handoff, that one intended for number 35, Francis, but a flag is on the field. I guess gotta say what else is new is another penalty. The holding will push them back.
I think we've seen the flag be thrown more than the football at the end of this fourth quarter.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you measured up the amount of passing attempts and the amount of flags actually thrown, and just to see the difference between them. Yes, it has been a very outstretched second half of this fourth quarter.
And these refs are going to go home and ice their shoulders after a long day at the office.
Yeah, you know, you can only train so much. It's been a very active day. And, yeah, speaking of the devil, another flag on the field.
And this is unbelievable now. This is almost a joke.
Yeah, that may be 2 penalties, as that second flag was thrown a little late. The first one looked like it was either an encroachment or a false start. That was thrown at the snap of the ball. And then there was another flag thrown towards the end of the play. So that may be 2. We'll see.
So about 10 minutes ago, we were at 3:40 left in the ball game. Now we're at 3:26.
Yeah, very, nonetheless, a very start and stop second half of this fourth quarter. So we'll see what the ruling is here. So a false start. And then a personal foul against Mid-Prairie also. So false start and personal foul makes this penalties, maybe it makes penalties offset. A personal foul against Mid-Prairie, the false start against Williamsburg. She'll check that, and we'll repeat our 1st and 19 with 3:12 left. And the play is off, and check the field. Okay, no flag, so the first one in a good while, and that gain is by Francis.
Very excited to see no flags on the play.
So now under 3 to play, we'll see if that, period of flags has come and gone. 2:48 left on the clock, as Williamsburg just looks to milk it in the last bit of this ball game. Pressure's on. The rush doesn't really go
Levi Dua just
anywhere,
taking that pile and throwing them all down.
as we see Francis not getting much there. And I think we see a timeout for an injured player. Well, we too will take a timeout, as after a very physical bit of this fourth quarter, a lot of yellow found itself on the field. Score remains 25-0 with 2:16 left on Woman Access TV. And welcome back to the bottom 2 minutes of the second half. And the snap rolling out is a completion for about 4 or 5 yards.
Wrapped up by Blake Schwartz. Help of some more Golden Hawks to take him down. It's going to bring us past the 2-minute mark.
And we'll see some substitutions as it may be time for some second thoughts about this punt, and we'll see what Mid-Prairie can do with 1:32 left on the clock, if they do get it. And that one is up. No fair catch, as we'll see nothing really doing on the reception there. So clock stops at 1:14. It's not over yet for the Golden Hawks' quest to get on the scoreboard.
I wonder if they're going to put the starters back out there, just let them sit the rest of this one out. No need to get any guys banged up. Looks like Vargas heading out there, as is Schwartz, Jacoby.
Oh, yeah, so it looks like a predominant starter lineup is they're going to see what they can do to at least get something on the board against their rival.
Going to keep Cordham on the sideline, though. It looks Carson Gingrich going to take over at quarterback.
And Gingrich we've seen step up in that Eliza Muscatine game, and he's gotten some touches when it was garbage time, but never when his team was on the losing end. That one is off to Vargas. He finds some real estate towards the left line, and he is turning it on, and he is taken down on the 35.
Nice to see him get out there, finally get some room to run. Even if the score is 25-0, always fun to watch Ricky Vargas in open area.
So 1:05 on the clock, ball around the 35. And again, Golden Hawks looking to get on the scoreboard.
Now Keaton Dua, the running back.
And on the backfield is Dua. There are 4 out. And Dua will get the ball. He'll find some space too. And get a good amount of yards there. And get taken down by the mob. So 41 seconds and ticking on the game clock.
And Keaton Dua doesn't get in there too much behind those 2-headed monster that the Golden Hawks have faced Sultan Vargas, but when he does get in there and get some touches, he's able to bust off some big runs of his own.
25 left, Gingrich in the backfield. The throw a little high, in and out of the hands, and that one's a dead ball, incomplete.
And another flag.
And another flag.
And I think that's going to be unnecessary roughness. It looks like whoever took down Schwartz there.
We'll see, yeah.
And also an injured man on the field for the Raiders.
That may have been a late hit, as that ball seemed like it didn't have a chance of being caught. You look at an injured Raider. He just had a recent injury for the Golden Hawks. Logan Bean was tended to. He seemed to get up off his own power, though, and gotta hope the best for him. So the show does go on here.
And the Golden Hawks are trying to set up, but the Raiders still have a man down laying on the field at around the 25.
Yeah, it's gotta be a bit of a communication breakdown, as looks like he is in no condition to get off the field right now. And a penalty against the Golden Hawks pushes it back. We'll keep it here as the injured Raider looks to be number 28, Ryan Ellingson, being helped off the field by the trainers. And with 18 seconds left, we saw some aerial play by Gingrich. Didn't go in his favor, but we'll see how the Golden Hawks want to treat the last few seconds of this contest.
Yeah, still looking for those first points. 18 seconds left. In Raider territory, not deep in it, but still want to get those points even if it doesn't mean much.
Gingrich out. He'll give that up over to Dua
Dragging
will fight
players.
his way up.
A nice run.
Dua battling his way up near that first down line. Not enough. And that will do it. So after a good gain, the Hawks fail to get on the scoreboard and find themselves shut out 25-0. We'll take a quick break and give you our Freeman Foods Player of the Game and a quick wrap-up of this rivalry's action. But once again, 25-0 in favor of Williamsburg here on Wellman Access TV. And welcome back to Wellman as we are wrapping up the 25-0 win in favor of Williamsburg. Going over the totals for the day, when it comes to first downs, 23-13 for Williamsburg, and total offensive plays and yards, 404 for Williamsburg, and only 290 for Mid-Prairie. We talk about how much of a running team Mid-Prairie is. Before this game, they've never been under that 180 mark, where they got to 166 today. What didn't work for this Mid-Prairie offense?
You know, coming into the ball game, this was a team that loves to run the football. Mid-Prairie was averaging 255 yards on the ground. Tonight, only about 150. I would have liked to see Ricky Vargas get more touches. He was doing great whenever he touched the football. 88 yards off 10 carries, 8.7 yards a carry. He had that big 32-yard run, but just the all-around offense couldn't really get going. The passing game wasn't there, which was keeping that Raider defense able to just sit around the middle waiting for the run. Nothing was really opened up, and you know, it's hard to get going when that aspect of your game isn't working.
And anytime you shut out your rival on the road, you have to be doing something right. Williamsburg with 232 yards on the ground and 172 in the air, totaling in 404. And when it comes down to possession of time, they've had 27 minutes compared to the 18 for Mid-Prairie. So they controlled the clock and they ran it. What else worked in favor for the Raiders tonight?
You know, right out the gate, it looked like we were going to see a close ball game. The first quarter was tight, and then Malloy just really started to have his game start working. He was 17 for 27, 172 yards, 3 different receivers with multiple catches. Hythison, the main one, 7 catches, 85 yards. You know, it just seemed like they were controlling the ball game in all aspects.
And the score certainly shows. Williamsburg comes to Mid-Prairie and shuts their rival out. On the positive, Mid-Prairie wasn't all negative. They did a good job defensively. And one certain player will get our Freeman Foods Player of the Game. Dan, who is it?
Cameron Tolander, you know, came into the ball game leading in tackles. He came in with 33.5 tackles. Today he led the team in tackles with 11.5. He was all over the place and just continues to make a name for himself on the defensive side of the football.
So not the way that Mid-Prairie wanted to go tonight. Before we let you guys go, we want to thank our sponsors for this post-game show, Home Gas, Wellman Advance, and Wellman Auto. Final score, Williamsburg comes out and takes their rivals out in a huge fashion, 25-0. On behalf of Dan, this is Alec, thanking you for tuning in and reminding you that next week, the Mid-Prairie Golden Hawks are home against Central Lee Donson, and then they go on the road to West Liberty. So stay tuned for those games, and thanks for tuning in once more here on Wellman Access TV.